So today we have here Manel Dominguez. He's from Barcelona, Spain, and he's working currently in Owens Corning. And he's the operational excellence lead or guy or manager, depends how you want to say it, depends on your company, for his company, for Owens Corning. And tell me a little bit more about yourself, Manel. Who was Manel when he was like 10 years old? Because I guess the plan was not to be an operational excellence guy.
No, for sure. For sure not. I was not aiming to have this kind of skills. Uh, Meaning, when I was child, maybe I was thinking about sports. I'm a sportive person, and I was playing basketball and so many other sports. But basketball was one of the main ones, and I got this kind of federation stuff, and I was playing. So it was. I was thinking, like, okay, if I was playing, in a basketball team, and then starts to grow the topic of machines, and then the robotics came, into the field, and I saw like something moving, autonomous, and moving boxes from here to there, and the first robots that we could see in palletizers and everything like this, and then starts to be okay. Maybe when I was at the latest years of studies, then I said, okay, let's go for engineering. And then that was my route. So something from sports became something more rational and pragmatic. I was not so good at basketball then, and then started to switch to something more studies that I can manage better than sports.
And was engineering better than sports, or was still something that you're like, I'm not sure about it?
I- I'm not sure about it. Let's say that. Let's discuss with our colleagues, engineers, that I'm better than sports. But let's say that. So I'm trying to do my best in both. Now it's time to being more. Let's say running and some other sports, more individual than with a team, and also with the engineering, I need to play also with a team, sometimes multicultural team, diversity team, and it's more or less the same. Playing in a team for sports, the target is to win the game, and here sometimes it's winning the project, so achieve the target of the projects, or achieve the targets of an excellence program that saving money, saving losses, etc., etc.
Okay, awesome. So on that team mentality that you're mentioning, what are some of the challenges you have seen in the past? It could be with culture, it could be with diversity. And how did you tackle it? Maybe you personally, but also the company where you were working for?
Yeah, let's say that there are a lot of challenges when you are working with people plus equipment. Always the people that we are working in operational excellence and projects, we are saying more or less the same thing. So machines are pretty easy to configure, uh, and the people that we are also part of this team, the people, we are not so easy to configure and not to change. So for me, the biggest challenge is the management of change. So when we are used to work in a way, in a good or or not in a good way, we are used to that. And the famous sentence that I used to do it like this all the time. This is a mantra that it's really really common in not even in industry. I guess that in all the jobs. And more accurately for us, this kind of thinking is stopping and slowing down the evolution that the company wants and that you want. So there are a lot of bases in for example, in a factory. If we are implementing something in a factory or in an office or in a system, So to be able to manage the different paces of the people to achieve your target of desired target, like saving material, less losses, etc. This is the challenge. So adapt yourself and the team to be successful is one of the key things. And you need to manage like different people, like they don't believe in the system, so they don't want to change. They are pretty familiar what they are doing, and they don't want to change. They want to keep it like it is because it's the easiest way. So this is like nature, okay? Then there are the two, this is like the normal. So you have the Gauss bell, and then you have this kind. This is the in between, no change. Then you have people like they are like really difficult to manage, and then they are the people, less people that they're willing to change, that they see a lot of benefit. So this kind of management of this team that you have, because always you have a mix of people. You don't have all the time like bad people or bad behavior people or good behavior people. So you have a mix as well. In industry, the challenges is, for me, one of the biggest one is this management of change. For sure, inclusion has been a part of a growth path inside of industry. So, for example, women inside of our manufacturing teams, it was quite a few. Also, like handicapped people, it was quite a few, or even none of them. And this kind of diversity is bringing a lot of value now. So we are seeing a lot of changes in the way that we are talking, in the way that we are approaching the people, in the way that we are finding solutions. So luckily, we are improving in the way to change this management of change, and it's less challenge than before. But for sure, it's keeping still some opportunities to improve.
Mhm. And with this diversity that you're mentioning, are you saying that the mentality is different and therefore you find different type of improvements? Because I can think that if everyone has the same profile of the employee, whoever is working in the factory, if everyone is the same, they do the same stuff, they think the same way, you will always find the same challenges and the same solutions. But if you have different people, you think that you get different options and also more improvements?
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it. I told you two examples, like male, female, handicap, non-handicap, and for sure it's also like multi-generational. So young people and old people, let's say, or veterans in the company. So this kind of pool of people is changing a lot the way that we are improving the systems and part of the continuing improvement, operational excellence programs. We see that the switch of generations, for example, like old school people, we were calling, and mixing old school with new generations, more women inside of the teams. It's changing the way that we are approaching the issues, and maybe it's faster now to solve them than before. The mix of the old generation and young generation, we can compare the way of old generation. It was like really fundamentals, really going to the root cause and really going deeply in technical things, and not that much in what we call now soft skills, approaching in a good behavior, etc. So it was pretty much considered tough people to approach to solve the problems. No, because he knows.
Okay.
That was more or less the sentence, that it was okay. So if he knows or she knows, okay, so then follow him. Now the young generation is challenging again this kind of status quo of he knows or she knows, and it's good because at the end there were some side effects and collateral things that we were not taking into account. That it was uh, also part of the root cause, but it was not immediately discussed or immediately found from this kind of excellence guy and
Mhm.
old school guy. So we are approaching better also the operators that are working in the line, asking them, involve them in the teams, not believing that only one person knows. So it's a team who knows. So it's a different way of approaching the solving of issues than before. So for me, it's a change, and this kind of mentality is coming and coming. And with young generations, we are seeing a lot of switch of collaborative mindset than pure go to the root cause immediately straightforward and come with me, I know, like Indiana Jones. So it's it's a different approach.
Okay, okay. So I guess also in that regards, we could think it like maybe it's not management knows or management to put a name, but it could be the expert knows, and they are the only ones who have the answer. But it's more like, okay, let's all sit together. Let's see how we put this all together and see how we can fix it farther than just what this person is saying.
Yeah, and if you see, when we are like closing up projects, and we have a process called lessons learned, and these workshops, most of them, if we are succeeding, it's fine. Okay, fireworks, perfect. We achieve the targets, perfect. But there are some projects that we are not so so
Mm.
successful, and then when lessons learned came, most of them are communication issues,
Okay.
and this kind of communication issues is because we were working a lot of time in silos, and this is like coming from the from what we have talked right now, like from I know, follow me, is that the way? So this is the good path. And if we are sharing in this way, in the path of being successful, if we share the things that we are doing, and then we admit that there are some other ways to do things, and there are some ways to communicate things, and if you communicate before upfront, and you have a active listening from the team, you can be better at the end. So this communication topic, it's one of the common issues of deviations from a successful project.
Do you have any examples of these silos or communication issues that you are like, hey, these two people didn't talk, and just because of this, we lost 100 million to put a number?
Yeah. I will not tell you numbers, but
Yeah, that's fine.
well, we can talk about percentages. Okay, but let's see. Yeah, let's say that usually, and this is part also with mixing teams. Usually, when you mix engineering teams with a plant team, there are some adjustments to be done. Engineering, we are always, let's say, mid long term thinking. Okay, so projects could be 6 months, 1 year, 2 years long, 3 years long. Depends on the size of the project. Plant team is daily management. So it's okay, today I need to run the plant and I need to produce because the products need
Yeah.
to be on the shelf the day after or the same day. So it's a different point of view.
Okay.
Usually, when we are talking in engineering, sometimes we are not communicating what we are doing, and not so often because we see it's a midterm and long term, and we are not sharing sometimes in a good way to the plant. And the plant is so fast changing and so fast implementing things that sometimes they are not communicating the changes that they are doing in the plant. So if we are not communicating each other, it could be like the different paces of teams. We arrive late or we arrive sooner. than the plan expected. So, and then there is no communication, and then there could be some building issues because we didn't capture everything from the building. We didn't capture all the needs from the equipment. We didn't capture a lot of things that maybe if we have a good communication through all the stakeholders, it will be a better project. But it's
Okay.
few examples.
No, communication is clearly one of the biggest issues that all companies are facing. That's quite relevant. That's something many people tell me with silos and stuff like that. It's an issue and it's not easy to fix. When it comes more to operational excellence, and I know a little bit of your ideas, how you think, uh, what's your opinion about, I'm gonna try to say it soft. What's your opinion about people who think um, titles first and not the methodology itself first?
You know me a bit. Yeah. So
At least based on your
let's
experience. It doesn't have to be, I
yeah.
hate it, but based on my
No,
experience, this is what
no.
I saw.
And yeah, but this is like the Pandora box. So I can expect haters after the video, but and I
Honestly,
expect also
I've
some
seen both
lovers.
things. I've seen both things, and it's quite divided. It's not like one thing or the other, so don't worry.
Like everybody, everything in life. But let's take my lessons learned and my experience through that and some colleagues and I've been working in 3 companies or big companies and have some experiences with this sector and the topic that we are talking about, operational excellence. Let's say that you should have people that knows the methodology to start in a company. If you are starting from scratch or you have several, trials to start with an operational excellence program, for sure the know-how should be really relevant and should be higher. So it could be like someone that has been awarded or studied with a black belt or green belt or whatever,
Mhm.
Sigma or Lean or TPM awarded thing. Uh, Maybe it's needed to establish roadmaps, to establish the kind of learnings that the team needs, etc. What I've been, let's say, working and I've been experiencing is that, okay, these kind of tools are not rocket science. It's more like being really organized and to have the structure, to have everything set and organized in a good way. So I think that people that take the, let's call it theory or the foundations of any of the programs, TPM. You have more tools like a Kaizen, etc. So there are different tools inside of the systems. So if you have a TPM approach, a TPM learnings, you don't need to be certified. So if we are like searching for the word, from my point of view, you don't need to be certified. Uh, it doesn't mean that if you are certified, you are not a good professional for sure. So if you
No,
are
no.
certified, maybe you are even better. But sometimes you are you are not even better than the one that is not certified. What I mean is like having the experience on the field with for sure training on TPM, the foundations of TPM shared. Um, you should be on the field and you have to be hands-on. Let's say you should have implemented something on the field once or twice or 3 times, but it's better to have it like a field approach with a basic knowledge and TPM training from my point of view than to be certified and explain to everybody in the company that you should do this and that you should do that. Someone from the field working with people, equipment, and systems knows a lot of things with a basic training and get a lot of insights also from the people that is working in this kind of programs. So for me,
Well, that's one of the principles,
summary,
no? Go to where the work is actually happening. Huh?
yeah. So yeah, as a principle, let's say, or if we need to summarize it in a sentence, for me, it's not needed to be certified. For sure, you need a basic knowledge and trainings in TPM, but it doesn't mean that you get it certified. So certification is stamp. It's like if you are a project manager, there are excellent project managers that are 20, 30 years working, being excellent in their profession, and they are not PMP.
Yeah.
So it's the same
Yeah.
thing if you are in operational excellence in like black belts, for example.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna close it there. I know we can go forever on the topic. So, on the, I'm gonna say the last years, but last year is probably 20 last years. This operational excellence topic has been evolving quite a lot with things like data, automation, now with AI everywhere. What have you seen? What have you seen that works? What have you seen that doesn't work? Where do you see it going? What are your insights on those regards?
Mhm. Yeah, I've seen the evolution. The mindset for sure is the same. The strategy and approach is the same. What has been changed is the easy and readiness of the tools to be worked inside of the teams. For sure, digitalization, not even go for 4.0 or more like a transformation, digital transformation, more like pure digitalization, has helped a lot and has been a transition as well. So what I talked before when we were talking about management of change, this has been clearly one of the ways to change the people or change the way of working about the people. When we started like operational excellence programs, we started and we said that everything should be with a pen or maybe two pens, red and
Okay.
green. And maybe the
Okay.
TTM people they will laugh, but it's like we are in a good way, green and red. We are not in a good way, and then there is a justification with this kind of red. So we were starting with a program. We were starting with indicators, KPIs, key EIs, key MIs, all this wording of TPM, dashboarding to have a visual data available, etc. And these topics were all in paper or all in a board.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these kind of things that used to be filled by hand, so the operator needs to introduce by hand the data, has been a switch that, okay, maybe now it's not needed to put it by pen. It's maybe a validation from the operator. So what we want in this kind of operational excellence is, okay, not everything will be in automatic, because one of the statements of operational excellence is ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of word, it's like the mantra for all the operational excellence people. It's okay, we need to be owner of the line, owner of the equipment, etc. So we said that the ownership, if you are writing with the hand, if you are taking data from the line, it's a way to get this kind of ownership of the line. So you are reporting your, for example, caps per minute, bottles per minute, boxes per hour, tons per hour. This kind of reporting now used to be like, okay, I validated digitally, maybe than even writing. So this is faster. So it's becoming a little bit faster. It's becoming with less mistakes. So it's coming immediately from something that is robust, that it's PLC, PC, etc., that it gives you the data, and then you validate. So let's say this kind of chain of errors, okay, you can clean it up. So now this kind of digitalization, this kind of data coming from the line, validation from the operator, now it could be also digitalized and it could be in a dashboard in an electronic board. So it could be pretty configurable. You can see the boards that you need. You can see the charts that you need, the most significant for you. You can change it from 1 minute to the next minute if you have the availability and the skills.
If you have the data, yeah.
You have a lot of tools now that has been connected. So we used to have this kind of MES systems, pretty old, very rigid, very robust to configure. When we changed the line, then it was a nightmare to go reconfigure the system, and then we couldn't follow new charts or new trends. So we have been switching this kind of pure handwriting and reporting to a digital way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it has been clearly an improvement from the past. Now the meetings also, the support for the daily management systems that are pretty the system for operational excellence, the meetings with the teams, this kind of data, now it's not discussed. So this is the data that we have, and then you share it with the team, and then this is the root cause. This is da 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 da. So you discuss a lot of things then. So this digitalization has helped a lot. The inclusion now of artificial intelligence and more intelligence into the systems drives to, let's say, subtopics like focus improvement teams, quality teams, to have a better or faster solutions. They are driving to have extra support from these kind of systems. They can have faster decisions to make, and this is helping in having less and less and less waste. And then this is also like the mantra for operational excellence, to avoid waste on the lines. So let's say that digitalization first for visual things. So having data from the lines, not being blind, has helped. IoT, for sure, IoT elements that now the price is really affordable to include sensors and the way to communicate the sensors through a main core has helped a lot, because now you have a lot of data inside of the line. Automation has evolved, so then it's collected everything, and then you have now maybe the issue is that you have a lot of data, but that's why then the techniques of big data plus artificial intelligence on top is bringing troubleshooting faster and better. So for me, the operational excellence path now, it's with the tools that we have today, it's improving. So it's becoming faster and faster. The mindset is the same. You have the same pillars. You are focusing on the same things, but the tools has enabled the teams to be faster in the solution and to let's say, solve the issues that we took more time before.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think we're seeing that across everywhere. The tools are more available, so therefore people use them more. Therefore, you get the actual benefit out of it. So, if there was someone out there listening to this that they're starting their journey on operational excellence, what would be one or two things you would say, hey, focus on these two things first, forget about the rest, and it will be easier? Maybe some of the learnings that you had to take with your experience, that's something you wouldn't focus at the beginning, and then you realize you should have started with that.
Let's say from my experience, the first thing to be to admit and to work in operational excellence is that organization is key. meaning organization in a lot of axes. So organization from yourself and on organizing others. But first of all, you need to organize yourself. So meaning that meetings, effective meetings, follow-up of actions, maybe these two are the key things for yourself. So organize the meetings that you need, organize the meetings needed, and be accurate in the way that you manage meetings. So because meetings, you will not avoid the meetings. So this kind of communication that we were talking about before. So you need communications. So organize in a good way meetings, effective talking, etc. Then is the actions, because from the meetings there are a lot of actions. So the follow up of these actions, it's also key. And with the tools that we have today, so we have different tools in on the field, different tools in maybe more in an office way. So we have, let's say, planners and to do things and etc.
Yeah.
That it's automatic, the follow up. So now you have more tools to do that. So it's even easier than before. So this kind of organization from yourself, it's one key thing from a operational excellence guy.
Mm-hmm.
Organizing the others, this is like I would improve communication skills. So maybe
Okay.
from the beginning. So trying to approach in a, let's say, honest way, not in a police way, but not in a in a clown, let's say, approach. Let's have honest and straightforward communication and have the approach of improvement and opportunities always, and not being with penalties and why did you do that with this kind of accent and tone. So communication is also a skill that needs to be, let's say, excellent from the beginning when you are talking. And then management of the people, it's this is nothing to be born. So you are getting from day to day, changing departments from departments, changing people from people, talking with, as I told you, old people, young people, women, handicap, whatever. So you understand the full scope of humanity, and then people from Spain, people from Africa, people from Asia,
Yeah.
Americas, etc. So this kind of multicultural thing as well to understand people management a lot, and then let's say maybe the last one, or for sure I like, and this is more like personal approach. Know-how of the equipment, know-how of the processes. So to dig into the technical world as well, for sure, we cannot forget about that. But I think that the first ones to be in operational excellence, the first that I told you, is more important than being excellent in machinery or
Okay.
excellent in automation now, because artificial intelligence, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc. You don't need to be master in that, because you are in a user, for example, user experience, not in a programming
Yeah.
role. And for me, it's okay to understand the tools, understand how the things are producing, the things are being manufactured, and then be more organized than being technical. There will be a few more for sure, but
Yeah. Yeah.
to
That's
summarize,
fine.
I would say.
Okay. Awesome. So just to close it, two last questions. Is there anything we haven't mentioned about operational excellence that you're like, hey, I need people to know this? Anything that comes to mind? If not, that's fine.
Yeah, let's say that operational excellence has been, and I think that now is for the people that loves technology. Now is more like attractive than before. I was a bit. I don't know if the word was upset, but when I started in operational excellence, and we were also like talking about 4.0 almost, I was thinking green read, really, in a board, writing. So, and when you when you're starting and when you're continuously working, you understand why we began from this approach and why we arrived to artificial intelligence now. So, for me, it's like, okay, if you want to be uh, operational excellence professional, and then you don't have clear thing or clear approach of what they are doing, and maybe you think that it's boring. Today is not as boring as before, and even it's really attractive to work. So before it was really thinking about this kind of manual things, and it's really, something is from the book, and people like a technological and that we were expecting more things to invent. It was like, but you need to follow only. But now it's like, okay, for sure you have the book and you have the paths and you have 7 steps in maybe most of the pillars, but inside of each step, you learn and you apply a lot of things. And you learn a lot of people behavior. You learn a lot of techniques. There are a lot of tools. There is today digitalization. There are a lot of digital tools to implement, and they are really attractive. And then you see a lot of power behind this kind of artificial intelligence techniques. You see a lot of benefit then implementing things. Operational excellence is also by doing. It's really a doer person. So if you want, if you don't like to be seated in an office, etc., you can choose this kind of profile. And people, I think that they didn't know what they are doing. Sometimes they're like, okay, this is the guy of old school methods, they call it, and nothing more. No, we have switched a lot. We have been implementing a lot of things. There are a lot of pillars, a lot of menu on the restaurant. So it's really engaging when you are inside of the programs and work with the teams and with the experienced people, and then try to engage also some other people. It's also beneficial for you, for the company for sure. But it's also like when you implement things and you see losses decreasing, when you see improving things, when you see the operator in a better economy. So there are a lot of projects that are coming with operational excellence that brings health to people, that brings mental health to people,
Yeah,
and for sure brings more money to the company. But at the end, it's a teamwork, and the team solutions are really great. So I
you get
will
to
I
see
will
your
encourage.
impact. That's great. Okay, so just to close it, anything you'd like to share, any project that you have that you're like, hey, go check this, or any conference, any TV that people should look into, any stuff that you're doing, or you're fine this way? You would like them
No,
to contact you? You want that I leave your contact information or not?
for sure, I'm really open to link. So I'm pretty active in I'm pretty active in LinkedIn. So you can let the people my signature or my contact details for sure. I'm time to time making some some actions in a very small TVs, 1 minute, 2 minutes to discuss about something that they are asking me. So I'm usually now I'm like more the electrical vehicle contact for some TVs. But yeah, I'm sometimes in Congress talking. I'm sometimes in these very small shots for TV and LinkedIn quite often, sharing things that I feel that I need to share for communication and for other people learn. So yeah, I'm ready to contact other people, other professionals, people that need help, or someone that needs any other contact or some advice.
Perfect, no problem. I'll leave your LinkedIn at least on the description of the video so people can see
Thank
it
you.
if they want to. And that's about it. Thank you, Manel. It was a pleasure. and I hope people learn quite a lot from it.
I hope so. Thank you, Guillermo.
No problem.